Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Bruni, and joining me is Colin Mitchell. Colin, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say, how I wanted to intro it, all rattling around in my mind. But I got nothing for you, Colin. This is on the border of an emergency podcast, just on the border of it. It's not quite there, but if we had brought the panic meter back, remember the panic meter? You remember the panic meter. All the longtime listeners remember the panic meter. If we brought that back, man, we were inching close to 9 or 10.
It was 10.
It was DEFCON.
They lose this game. If they lose this game, it's over. Season's over. I don't care what you do.
So for those who don't know, let's set the scene. Set the table, Colin.
Yeah.
North Texas played Southern Nazarene. Okay. And I was at the LSU women's basketball game, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch much of that the first quarter because LSU women's went up like 30, and I was like, all right, I'm going to watch a bunch of college basketball on my computer because I don't get paid to cover women's basketball. I just like talking to Kim Mulkey. Anyways, I get a text. I think it was from you, and you say North Texas is losing at halftime.
Yeah, I sent you the tweet, I think, or something.
I was like, what's happening? I think it was my other friend sent it to me as well. And I was like, what's going on here? All right. I knew Ruben wasn't playing, but then I find out Tyler's not playing. So I was like, okay, halftime. I'm seeing all these other scores around college basketball. And I'm like, I'm not mad at it. Down a half by 4 to Southern Nazarene. They'll figure it out. They'll get it together. And so I turn it on, and I watch pretty much the entire second half. I mean, probably 90% of the second half, I'd say. And, it didn't get better. It just kind of stayed bad. And then at the very end, Aaron Sky hits a 3. They get a couple rebounds, get a couple stops. They win the game 53-47, Colin. Division II, Southern Nazarene holds them to 53 points. Tyler Perry did not play. Reuben Jones did not play. Ty Magai, who actually played for Denton Geyer, who I remember, scored 17 points for Southern Nazarene. So I have a good amount of thoughts.
I do
too. I've been talking though, so I'll let you go first, and then I'll kind of bounce off you.
Yeah, I was in the same boat, right? I didn't watch the game. I predicted it was going to be like 105-43 last podcast, and I was just like, yeah, we'll see what happens at St. Mary's, because I thought this was going to be a foregone conclusion. This wasn't going to be a game anyone needed to watch.
Yeah.
I scrolled through Twitter. I'm following Thursday Night Football. I'm watching the Pistons, and I see the score 19-23. North Texas is down 4 points to Southern Nazarene. And I am floored. 19 points against a Division II school. So I go, okay, what's happening? I start to watch this game, and I think you texted me this. It looks like offense is just not even been practiced. Like they haven't even like ran through offensive sets. Like it doesn't it was the most. It was harder to watch than any time last year's basketball. And last year,
the La Tech game last year is all I could think about.
Yeah, it was just like nothing worked. So many just disgusting smoked layups. I mean, like I said, I only watched the second half, so I don't know what happened in the first half. But threes just not going in. The ball movement was just awful. You had some weird rotations with Matthew Stone, like going to the wing while someone's dribbling to the wing. And it's just like, what is happening? What is happening? And when they were up 4, Southern Nazarene was up 4 with, I think, 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left. I texted Bruni and I said, their lead seems insurmountable. It was 5. Their lead seems insurmountable.
Yep.
And I legitimately thought that North Texas wasn't going to win this.
Yep.
And everything that we had talked about coming into this year after our interview with Mac, I said, wow, it's all going to get ended because of one bad game against a D2 school.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I thought it was over. It was a 5-point game with 4 minutes left. And I said North Texas will not score 6 points against Southern Nazarene to win this game. That's what I told myself. Obviously, they ended up scoring it, and they ended up winning the game. Cool. Good for them. How do I want to phrase this? This is like whenever you're a parent, I imagine you're a parent, because I'm not a parent. But I imagine this is like when you're a parent and your kid does something bad, but they're
Mm-hmm.
usually such a good kid, you know? It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're you don't want to get mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
This is your baby. This is our baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to do anything crazy. You just want to talk.
Yep.
And I just want to talk, right? I don't want to do anything heinous. I don't want to overreact. I don't want to overreact. This is our child. And
We just caught our kids smoking weed, and we want to make sure that they had a good experience doing it and they learned something from it. That's what we're trying to figure out, Bernie. I got you 100%. That is what this is. We caught the weed, we caught the sniffing Sharpies, and we just want to make sure that they learn that it's not okay. You know, this game was not okay.
this game was not okay. Okay, this is what needs to be said. This game was not okay. All right, but in any way, shape, or form, I don't care. Tyler Perry's not playing. I don't care if Reuben Jones is not playing. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, we've watched a lot of college basketball. Okay, in our time, we've watched a lot of basketball. Period. In our time,
Lots of basketball.
and there it doesn't matter how new of a team you have, it doesn't matter the turnover you have, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, you needed to be better than this.
Yep.
100%. And the concerning part to me, Colin, is that you can't blame this on Thomas Bell. You cannot blame this on JJ Murray. Those guys are not here anymore.
Yep.
This is supposed to be Kai Huntsberry, Aaron Scott, Tyree Eady, and obviously Tyler and Reuben are very, very good players. Obviously Tyler Perry is first team all conference. We're not taking anything away from Tyler and Reuben. Those guys, if those guys are on this team, they probably win by more than 5 points. Definitely, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there was zero pace. There was zero pulse in an offense, and there was no understanding of what to do. And the only reason it's really concerning to me is because it looked like last year.
Yeah.
But JJ and Thomas aren't on this team anymore.
Yeah.
So you don't have that excuse anymore. And so that's it. And they've won 3 championships. We are spoiled. All right. We're 100% spoiled. Yes, I admit that. But even if this was Tony Benford's team in 2016 and they put up this performance, we would have come on here going crazy. If Seth Luttrell would have beat Texas Southern, remember that Texas Southern game? If they would have won on a walk-off field goal, right? Like, let's say it was 24-21, Seth Luttrell, North Texas wins. We're getting on here going crazy. This is our child, though. This is our baby.
Yep.
And so I do want to be careful because this is a championship program. There's no denying it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna early on raise my concern level substantially here because the offense does not look better.
You know what?
We're
bringing back the panic meter.
It's back.
Where are you at, Bernie?
Dude, I'm high. This is not good. Look, Abu shot the ball 21 times. He went 9 of 21. And I think Abu's going to have a really good year. He was good last year, 23 and 10. I think he's a fine player. 4 blocks. Awesome. He looked good. He looked slim. His free throw looks good. 9 of 21. Because you can only be so efficient on that jump hook, man. You got to dunk the damn ball at some point.
Yeah.
How many easy shots did Abu have? Not many. And that's a product of the offense, but that's also him. So, anyways, Kai Huntsberry, 2 of 8 from 3. 8 of 8 from the line, cool, but 3 assists. As a team, Colin, they had 5 assists. 5 assists. 5 assists. So, anyways, my panic meter is, look, I just said I don't want to overreact. I'm going to be modest because this can lower. This can go down.
Of course.
But at this moment, I'm at a 7.
Oh, God. I feel like I just got shot.
Because okay, well, what are you at?
I just want to make sure you're clear too. 0 or 1 is nothing, like championship. Okay, 10 is season's over.
Look, and this can go down if they could beat.
Of course, I agree.
Look, they could beat St. Mary's.
Okay,
and
so you're saying. I guess
fine.
you're putting it as 7 because you don't think their performance is going. You think their performance is going to be a theme this year in terms of their totals.
Look. Last year, they were the slowest team in the country.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they won games because they were a great offensive rebound team and they were
Yep.
a great 3-point shooting team. They shot the ball
Yep.
over 40% from three in conference play.
Yep.
And we didn't do this podcast last year. Remember, you and I, we were not together. And I listened back to my podcast with John after the La Tech game on the way back from the LSU game I was just at, and it sounded eerily familiar to this. The offense not looking good. This is not a new thing here. Okay, they're gonna have to shoot the ball very, very well because what do you do now? Now you don't have Thomas Bell to do the dribble down stuff that we talked about, right?
Not only
You
that,
don't
you
have
have
Javion Hamlet anymore in here. So
right.
Kai's gonna have to be much better. Abu's gonna have to be much better.
You,
Tyler's gonna have to come in and be amazing.
you know what I've noticed
And go
watching
ahead.
this tonight as well is I saw a lot of threes that we can call them open or whatever, but they were contested. I would say a lot of the threes were that I thought they were shots that a DJ would make,
Yeah.
James Reese would make,
Rose.
the sharpshooters, right? This team has had
Yes.
sharpshooters in the past, whereas now we come into this, and obviously we haven't seen enough games. I don't want to say that there's no sharpshooters on this team, but we're not DJ or whoever that's the sharpshooter on this team is a lot different than Aaron Scott taking a corner three.
Yeah.
It's a lot different
Matthew
than
Stone.
Matthew Stone taking a three.
Kyrie.
Exactly. It's a lot different than
Dude.
Tyler Perry taking the three. You have that's what this offense was predicated on, was if you can't get those inside touches and you can't get up to the rim like Abu needs to do, it's the kick out that Zach used to do to the corner, DJ three, or you swing it and then the offense kind of stalls for a bit. The difference is here, one, you don't have those sharpshooters, and two, you don't have guys that are used to playing this slow. At least in my eyes, it didn't look like they were used to playing that slow. There was a lot of, I don't want to say confusion, but it seemed like pent up energy where these guys wanted to go in a certain way, or they were used to a certain way of doing things. And it wasn't there for them. And that's my biggest concern, is that you have a lot of guys right now. It seems like you're trying to fit square pegs in round holes. And obviously Grant said, on the podcast a couple weeks ago when we had him on, that they're going to do more free flowing offense. It's going to be faster. We didn't see that tonight, obviously, but it seems like that's going to have to be a must as opposed to an option going forward, in my eyes.
Yeah, I think you laid it out. I think you laid it out well. Is where are they going to get the paint touches from? Is it Abu? And if it is Abu, he has to be far more efficient.
Sorry,
it's okay. Oh, were you going to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, because you have to have Abu replace Thomas, because Thomas was the guy who got you the paint touches.
Yeah, or I mean, Ruben's going to have to take a huge step forward, I guess.
Yeah. Here's the question: who is going to draw the attention on this team? You had Javion, you had Thomas last year, you had Zach as well, I guess, on top of Javion. Last year you had Tyler, although he was off the bench. Who is going to draw the attention to get guys open to where the guys can attack off the dribble, attack off the catch? Because right now I didn't see any of that. And that's against a D2 school.
Yep. D2. 4 fast break points for North Texas, by the way.
Yeah.
4 of them. 3 bench points. And obviously that changes when you have Tyler and Ruben, but
I hate that. I mean, I know you're not saying it's an excuse, but I don't want it to be anyone's excuse. Last year, Ruben was out for a significant amount of time. Tyler, although he was very, 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 very good, came off the bench. The team knows how to play without these 2 players.
Okay, I'll push back a little bit. I don't know if they know how to play. Kai Huntsberry, Matthew Stone, Tyree Edey.
Okay.
Christian Moore was on the court a lot.
Countering that, it's a D2 school and you got D1 athletes on your team.
I agree. No, 100%. I 100% agree.
At worst, their best player should be a bench player on your team.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right. And all I'm going to say is I think we've gotten spoiled to well, I don't know, spoil. Spoil is not the right word. JJ Murray being able to play 30 minutes and not score a point, that is an outlier. I want to make sure everybody's understanding that. That is not the norm on a college court, NBA court, any court you step on. If you play 30 minutes, I could go play at LA Fitness and let's say I play 2 games, right? I'm scoring a point, okay? Unless my team gets shut out. That's different. But I'm scoring a point, okay? Mm-hmm. That's just because you're playing basketball. And JJ Murray was the exception because he could defend at an incredibly high level. And even then, I was here like, I don't know if it outweighs the
I
fact
mean,
that
he
he
got
couldn't
played off
score.
the court sometimes last
Yes, he
year.
did. Matthew Stone, 28 minutes, 0 points, over 3. Tyree Eady, 24 minutes, 0 points, over 2. Rasheed Brown, 0 points, 18 minutes. Jaden Martinez, 11 minutes, 0 points. Christian Moore, 3 points in 12 minutes. No, that's not the standard. You can't. 2 players scored in the first half, Colin. Kai Huntsberry and Abu Usman were the only 2 players that scored in the
And they
first half.
scored 19.
They scored all 19 in the first half. Nobody else scored the ball. That's why I'm concerned. Because it's not. This isn't a one-time thing here. This isn't. This is La Tech last year, and obviously, you know that Ruben was hurt last year too. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, at some point for this program, I hate making this an overarching thing, but for this program to take the next step that it really wants to take, going to the American, getting to that next level, to be taken a little bit more seriously, because we've the championship program, yes, 100%. To take that next step, they have to figure it out offensively. And that's my takeaway from this game.
I completely agree. Because, and just to reiterate, this is a game where you're supposed to try things that you've been trying, that you've been wanting to implement. And I didn't see anything positive come from this game. What I saw was a team that was desperate to come back,
bro,
against Southern Nazarene.
The offense in the last 10 minutes turned into chuck up the 3 and run at their boards.
Yep. If they didn't get offensive rebounds, this is a lost game.
Oh, 100%.
If Kai Huntsberry doesn't get his or Abu's rebound after he missed that layup where you texted me and we texted each other, you said that was disgusting layups missed. Kai went up, Abu went up, and then Kai got his own rebound and got fouled. That's what won them the game, because if they don't get that rebound, who knows what could have happened on the other end?
Yep.
Who knows?
100%. Yeah. So it's a I want to reiterate 100%. Everybody listening, don't turn this off yet. I have one last thing to say. North Texas will be a good team this year.
Yes.
I have 100% faith that they're going to be a top 3 team in Conference USA, top 4 team in Conference USA. It's a good conference, though. I'm not going to lie. So it's top half team in Conference USA. They're going to be really, really good this year. I have 100% faith in that. All right. This is a championship program. They deserve the benefit of the doubt.
Of course.
They deserve the benefit of the doubt 100%. They deserve it more than Seth. They deserve it more than anybody else that wears green at North Texas. All we're trying to do is hold them to the standard that they want to be held to.
Yep.
And that's a championship standard.
Yep.
And this wasn't even a game against Prairie View A&M. This wasn't a game against a low Division I team. This wasn't Mississippi Valley State. This was South Nazarene.
Yep.
And that is the concerning part. But again, I believe I'm still here. At this moment, though, I'm scared. That's it. That's all I'll say.
And just on the other end, UAB scored 111 against a low Division I team. I mean, that's the competition you're going up against this year.
Not even that bad of a Division I team either, UAB. I was looking at the spread because it was a 25-point spread, I think it was. And I was looking through Alabama State's record last year. They went 8-10, and they lost a few games against P5 teams by 10 or less. They're not a bad team at all. And
Jelly Walker put up 38, and North Texas scored 50.
That's going to be the difference.
Right.
That's going to be the difference.
Now, obviously, it's going to sound like an overreaction to most everybody, but St. Mary's is going to be where we finally figure out if this was a fluke or if this is going to be an issue going forward. Because St. Mary's, I would argue, is the level that North Texas would like to be every year in terms of, their peak, right? St. Mary's is where they want to be when they're playing their best basketball. And this is going to show us whether they're going to be, these new guys that came in are going to be able to live up to that.
Because St. Mary's is a slow-paced team, defends, shoots threes. They're a very, very, very solid team. So we'll see.
And year in and year out, they're successful.
In the tournament.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Ruben's not going to be back. I would assume Tyler would be back unless if it is more significant than we know. And if that's the case, then I'm very concerned moving forward, because they need Tyler back. They need to figure this offense out. You got to figure it out. Get players on the court. I don't know what Tyler's injury is. Somebody can let me know in the comments. But
what do you just to close this out? What do you want to see them do against St. Mary's?
I need to see at least a hope of pushing the ball down the court a little bit, because Grant McCaslin is a fantastic coach, man. I love Grant with all of my heart and soul. But he did
But
tell us he told us, and
yeah,
we
I know.
before, that they were going to play faster.
Yep.
And you had 4 fast break points against South Nazarene. So what am I going to believe here? What you tell me or what you show me? That's what. So I just want to see them try. I just want to see them try. You can fail, you can turn the ball over, but just try.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see some dribble penetration. I want to see Abu and more ball screens, and Tyler come out aggressive. I want to see all these guys come out more aggressive, shooting the ball, driving the ball, try to get fouled, try to just get to the free throw line, and kind of, I don't know. I think that's a one way of saying it, but I mean, obviously I could, break down film or whatever, but it's just kind of how it is. You just have to be more crisp offensively.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the thing that I want to see most off, or I guess the most against St. Mary's, is to see Kai Huntsberry become the point guard. Because obviously that's where they went at the end of this game, right? That was their option, and that's who Grant wanted to go with. So I need to see that can be done against a good team if needed, and I also need to see him run the offense in a way that it's not like last year where you had to have a guy dominate the ball at the end of games, like Tyler Perry, for example, which is something that was a concern for me coming in, was when can North Texas separate itself? Obviously, they blew out a lot of teams last year, but La Tech, you needed Tyler Perry every time down to hit the big shot. All those close games that they won, you needed Tyler Perry to come down and hit the big shot. So I need to see efficient offense from your point guard to kind of settle the team, to where they can, the efficient shots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I need to see against St. Mary's. And not for nothing, also just competitive, because obviously I'm equally as scared after watching this game in terms of what could be after this loss, or after this win. Would you consider this a loss on paper?
Yes, it feels
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Again, this team will be okay. I'm not selling my stock on them. I'm just a concerned parent here, and I want to talk.
I'm wearing my kid's jersey right now. I'm wearing a shirt, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet about whether or not he's going to continue smoking the weed. But come Sunday night, he told me he was going to get. He told me he was going to get back to me, and then we'll find out. Yeah, he let me know that if he comes back high, then he made his decision.
All right, there's the analogy for y'all out there. Hope we don't have children listening to this.
You said the F word last podcast.
Yeah, but it was kind of just like quiet, off the cuff.
Definitely wasn't. It was at the very beginning within the first minute, so I don't even want.
You screamed out weed in this podcast. So
weed's legal in like 28 states.
In fact, you know how many states it's legal?
I actually don't know. Now I have to look that up, because if I'm close, that's pretty good.
I don't think it's 28. I think it's less than that. All right. That's it. That's all we got. We're excited to see this team improve. So let's see it. Let's see the improvement.
39 states.
Wow, is it really?
So my kid is doing a good job in 39 states. But you want to know what? Not in Texas. Not in Texas. It's not okay here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, that's all we got for y'all today. We look forward to talking to y'all later in the week about UAB football. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a reaction pod after the St. Mary's game. We have no structure to this. I want to hope everybody knows that we just kind of go with the flow. Colin texts me, says, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?" I say, "Sure." I say, "No." We go. So, all right. Thank you all for joining us. Leave a 5-star rating or review wherever you're listening. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Spotify. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all later.